Okay.
I don't hear anything.
Damn it. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, beep, beep.
Hello, welcome to Make Me, the podcast where we force each other to do things we couldn't be bothered to do ourselves. I'm Julia Ray Weeks.
And I'm Jordan William Steadman.
Wow, really? That's my dad's middle name.
We have talked about this so many times, Julia.
I like pretending that it's the first time I ever heard it. As you know, I love our theme song. It reminds me of Robin, who is a queen and a goddess and deserves all of our love and loyalty. But
yeah,
we come
and
across some problems.
womp womp.
Last week, Jordan sent me a dumb Instagram ad for like a vacuum or something, and our theme song was the same song, was playing in the background of this video.
Yeah, it was on a Trixie Mattel video, and it was also on an ad, and I loved hearing it. I'll say that because I love our theme song. But the whole process of finding out that your theme song is like being used by something else is very much this. Wee-haw!
That's the exact sound I made when I first heard it. I was like, wow, so cool. Oh, wait, this is a donk.
Yeah, it's a whole donk. So we're now in the process of finding possibly a new one, if that's what we should do. I feel like I want to stand out a little.
I feel like we need recommendations, but I also feel like if we do the same process of finding a like free YouTube thing, that we're going to come across the same problem.
Agreed.
Anyway, audience, if you have suggestions, if you like making music, we really love our theme song. So if you can make it sound similar to, but better than the current one, that'd be fun.
When Julie and I were first coming up or making the podcast, I said, I want it to be like Passion Pit. That was like the one thing that I had to say about it. Yes. So if you could make us a theme song that's like Passion Pit, then I would love that. As if
Robin and Passion Pit did a collab song.
Yeah. Honestly, if you guys know Robin or Passion Pit, if you could just get them, either of them or both of them, to make us a theme song, that's also an option.
I mean, they're not doing anything right now. They're in quarantine. Right. Everyone else.
Exactly.
I'm sure they would do it pro bono, too.
And we can get Bono in on it.
Yeah, with Bono. That's what pro bono
I'm actually anti-Bono.
Oh man. These stupid tinted glasses. Anyway, you want to jump right into the Make Me?
Yeah, let's get into the podcast.
Let's freaking do it. All right. So what was your Make Me that I gave you 2 whole weeks ago?
Julia Weeks, the Make Me that you gave me 2 whole weeks ago was I had to make a vision board.
Yeah, you did.
And this is something that I've been intrigued by, aroused by, titillated by, yes. And I just have never participated in before. But before I go into what I found about vision boards and making vision boards, what's your history of vision boards?
Yes. So like you, I've been intrigued and aroused by them, but I've never made one. And I actually don't even think I've seen one in the past 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel like it used to be a thing on sitcoms where girls would have a sleepover and they would make vision boards, or middle-aged women would do it after their divorces. But that's just a comedy trope, and I actually think they're very cool. I know Oprah talked about them, but I don't have any experience with them, and it always planners and strategic plans and setting 5-year goals and whatever always was very intriguing to me, and then I never do it because it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things that it seems so simple to do and that you'll just do it eventually, or
Yeah.
you don't have the time or resources to do it right now.
Or you're like,
One
oh, I already know what it's going to be in my mind, so why do I need to write it down?
Yeah, exactly. So the math or science, I guess, behind vision boards, or before I even jump into that, what a vision board is basically a collage of images and words and like various objects that you put on a board, and what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to like manifest it into like existence. So like you have like a set of goals and like they're reflected on the board. So if you wanted like a boat, you like you put the boat on the vision board and like
Right.
you hope to manifest it through like your thinking or whatever.
Right. Like if you wanted a boyfriend with oiled up sexy abs, you would like go to a Playgirl magazine and cut out a swimsuit model and be like,
Yeah.
this is my goal person.
Exactly. And so vision boards get like, you know, you were saying like there's like a trope about them, like a comedic trope, and I see them
Yeah.
all the time on like various sitcoms, and I think they're really funny. The one time it stuck with me though is, have you ever seen the movie oh shoot, it doesn't matter. There's that movie about the girls who were like robbing celebrities.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
There's this girl, her name's Alexis Myers, and her friends like it's called The Bling Ring. Her and her friends were robbing celebrities, and it stars not Emma Roberts,
Oh.
Jesus Christ. No, not Emma Roberts. It's Emma Watson.
No. Okay.
But so her and this is a real life thing. But anyway, Leslie Mann plays the mom in that, and she's always talking about her vision boards and how, like, have you heard of The Secret, like the book The Secret?
Yes.
So I always knew that The Secret was associated with vision boards, and like that's kind of how far I got. I knew that The Secret is about like manifesting, like real like manifestation, and like the secret to like getting everything you want is like believing that you're gonna get it.
Right.
And my understanding has always just like been that. So for the Make Me, I kind of dove into The Secret, which is really fun.
I'm so glad. I didn't know you were going this way, but I've been hearing a lot about The Secret and like the people that are behind it for some reason this past like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I watched, so there's a book and then there's like a documentary, I guess you could call it. It's the movie is on Netflix called The Secret. And it's like the style of it, it seems like one of those like alien documentaries where it's like a green screen background of like just like it looks like just like general like ancient text or whatever.
Yeah.
And it opens up with like these people hiding the secret, and like that all these successful people like had to hide the secret. It goes into like a tomb or something, and like you can see like there's like images of just like vague ancient Europe, you know what I mean?
Like
so like Roman stuff. It kind of is. But like throughout the movie, you have like these people who identify as like metaphysiologists, right? And like philosophers and authors, and like their title is visionary, which I don't understand how like you self-identify as a visionary.
Yeah, don't you have to like create something and then other people are like, that was visionary for its time?
Yeah, and like Thomas Edison was like a visionary, you know what I mean? But speaking of Thomas Edison, 3 people that stuck out to me that they identified as people who like knew the quote unquote secret are Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, and Albert Einstein.
What, did they talk to them?
Right, exactly. I was like, so The Secret is basically like the law of attraction. So throughout, it's an hour and a half long documentary, but basically what it tells you is that to get something that you want, you just have to believe it. But it has this like self-help kind of like spin on it. So like basically everything that you want in life has to do with whether or not you want it and whether or not you can like visualize you having it. And like the big quote I found was like thoughts become things.
Yes.
It's like kind of how one of the people said it out.
It reminds me, like, the best way I can think of it is the exact opposite, which is that if you don't think you're gonna get it, then you're not gonna get it. Which makes more, like, that's easier to understand, because like if you're in your mindset you're like, I'm never gonna get that job, then like your whole atmosphere around like preparing for the job and doing the interview is gonna be really negative.
Yeah, exactly. And my thoughts on this whole like thing is like, so full disclosure, I like things like tarot and astrology, and I
Yeah.
have this like idea that like everything is just stardust, which like it really is, and it's all just molecules and stuff
Agreed.
like that. But sometimes this like the whole secret thing is like I do believe it in a sense where like, okay, if you set your mind on something and if you're constantly trying to remind yourself of it, you're just more likely to take the steps to
Yeah.
like get like accomplish that, you know what I mean? And a
Yeah.
lot of the things that they say in this is like super privileged, because like it's like financial advisors who already have a lot of money, and they're like,
Right.
if you just visualize yourself as a wealthy person, you're just going to be wealthier. It's like, no, you're just like exponentially like earning more money. So
Right.
like, yeah, of
Also,
course you bought the boat, you
yeah.
know?
Also, you were wealthy before you closed your eyes to envision this, and when you opened your eyes, you had the same amount of money and already were wealthy.
Yeah, exactly. The one guy who like talks, who like is like they have all these like examples of people who come on who like lived the secret and like their
Yeah.
like life has changed now, like testimonials. This guy was like, I set my goal to be a millionaire, so I wrote $1,000,000 on a $1 bill and I put it above my bed, and every morning I woke up and looked at it, and I just couldn't get my 1 million. I couldn't find my $1 million idea, but then I was in the shower and I realized I have this book that I already wrote. I should sell 1 million copies of it, and
For
then I'll
one
be a
dollar.
millionaire.
Oh my
And
god.
he sold the book and he became a millionaire.
Okay,
It's
but
like,
he
that doesn't
already
add
had a
up.
book.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh
you
my
already
god.
had this stuff.
So basically, he's an idiot, but somehow
Yes,
made $1 million.
exactly. And then the really scary part were the people who like, so it basically had like different chapters, not like like super structured chapters, but you could tell like this section they were talking about money, and like this
Right.
section they were talking about like health. Well, some of the people on here are like doctors and things, or like they had weird titles that were like adjacent to being a medical professional. You know what I mean? The kind of
Yeah.
stuff that like you get certified in that isn't like
Yeah, it like
necessarily real
sounds like you're a
medical stuff.
doctor, but all you had to do is take an online course.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the main guy who like was the main guy who was doing the whole secret thing was kept calling diseases diseases, like meaning like you're not at ease, like your body is not at ease, and that like all diseases are like bad mindsets, and that
Oh
it's
my
your
god.
body telling you that your mind isn't balanced.
Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy?
Actually, coronavirus would be cured if we all just thought happy thoughts.
Exactly. And that like I was like, okay, whatever, like this is harmless to me, because like if you
You're
want to
not
make a
dumb.
vision board, and like if you want to, and like if you make a vision board and then like that aligns with like your future, then like that's freaking amazing. And
Yeah.
like at certain parts, like I felt like, oh, you know, I don't fully believe that like if I just put on this board, and like they tell you that you have to like sit there and like envision yourself like having the thing, and like that's what manifests it.
Yeah.
And I think that if like that aligns, that's great. But once you start like talking about like health, like your physiological health,
Yeah.
that is the part that like makes me nervous.
Right. Plus, like, it's a difference between, okay, I want to run a marathon. So I put like a picture up of someone, like a runner, and like
Yeah.
my body is going to change to be somewhat like that person's, but I'm not saying like change my body completely.
Right. Exactly. And so this whole thing gets like famous through like a big jump in like the fame of these people and like their money making capabilities was Oprah. And now this is where
Yes.
my beef with Oprah starts, because there's a podcast I listen to. It's called The Guru, and I
Yeah.
really recommend it. It's by Wondery, and it's about this guy. His name's James Arthur Ray, and he was actually one of the visionaries, or like whatever his title was. Maybe he was an author, but he's in The Secret.
So they're
And
like, and what are do the secret people like call them? Like, are they like a group or like, I
so
don't
they're
want
like,
a cult.
well, it is pretty culty, and that's what kind of what I'm going to get into is like this guy James Arthur Ray was like part of this whole secret thing. He held all these workshops, was like making bank and
Yes.
like doing these like sweat lodge things, and he held a sweat lodge, and he wanted to be this guy who had the hottest, most intense sweat lodge, and it was in 6 rounds, and at the last round someone died,
Oh God.
and he went to jail for a while, and now he's like back out in the world doing like self-help.
Oh my
And
God.
I realized that like there's a huge link between like this self-help stuff. Um, he was associated with Herbalife, and he was like associated with like other things that like have been just like have been like
Right.
looked down on.
Yeah.
But he like apparently his whole thing is that he makes all of his like participants, which is basically like a cult, go through like grueling, painful like tests, and people like keep getting hurt
Oh my God.
at his like seminars or
It sounds
whatever.
like Scientology.
It's crazy, and it's just like he's indoctrinating these people because like if you listen to the podcast, people like someone who was there who like knew this woman who died was like he would make he told us that like all the symptoms that we're having are symptoms of like heat stroke, but like our mind is going to get through it. Like you're going to feel like you're dying, you're going to feel like you can't feel like your limbs or whatever, and like that's how you're supposed to feel.
What the hell?
And yeah.
That's nuts. This is reminding me of all of our conversations about MLMs and personality tests of like
Yeah.
it's so easy to exploit this kind of stuff. Like manifestation is something that people have been talking about for a long time, but no one's like commoditized it other than this guy who's clearly like malicious.
So that was super troubling. But with all of that being said, I think that there's a lighter side of The Secret that is much more innocent and much more just like aspirations. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, manifestation of like your dreams is something that is real, is if you're like willing to be like an active participant in like achieving your goals.
Yes, definitely. I think also like I don't know about you, but if I have a small goal in my head, like I'm gonna do yoga every day for a week. If I say it to myself, it never gets done. If I say it out loud to another person, I'll do it.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel like sometimes if I don't tell anybody my goal, I'm more like likely to achieve it because like half the work for me is someone else knowing, you know what I mean? So like if I told somebody that I wanted to like do this new thing, basically half the work of it is done to me.
Right, right.
If that makes any sense.
Because you already got the satisfaction of the person being like, wow, Jordan is so strong for doing this.
And I already seem cool for like wanting to like learn the bass guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's so cool. Like he's really cool. He wants to learn how to play the bass guitar.
And then all you have to do is like take one picture with you with your bass guitar and put it on Instagram, and you've gotten all the dopamine and serotonin you need from the whole experience.
Exactly. My Instagram is just my vision board of things that I've already done. But like the act, so I looked up how to make vision boards, and really the act of making a vision board is just like like really however you want to do it. It's like a collage of your wants and like the things that you want, and just like being intentional about like why you want it and all this kind of stuff. At least that's how I interpreted it. I read a lot of just like make a vision board of what you want, cut out pictures from a magazine. You need paste, cardboard, like some pieces of paper, blah blah blah. Right. And I was like, okay, this seems like pretty like surface level for like this whole hour and a half documentary that I watched about like manifesting things by envisioning all the things that you want actually happening to you.
Wait, in The Secret, do they make vision boards?
They talk about vision boards, yes. Okay. And there's actually a story about like this guy, and the guy was really weird, and they only did like talk about it for a minute, but he's like a guy, and he's talking about like this interaction he had with his son, and he keeps like, I don't know, for some reason, like an adult man calling his like adolescent child honey, like son, like his boy son honey was like really off-putting to me. But he told this story about how like he put a house on his vision board that he looked at every day. Like it was on a cork board up in front of his up on his like in front of his desk. And that then years later he made a family and he got into real estate and fixed up this house that he loved, and he's so happy. And his son was sitting on the box, and it was like 5 years after they moved into the house, but there's like a box in like his workroom, and he was like, and my son was sitting on it, and I was like, honey, get off that box. And he's like, what's in the box, Dad? He's like, honey, I'll show you what's on the box, honey. And he opens up the box, and he was like, and I looked at my vision board, and the house that was on it was the house that I had bought and that we were living in. And I started to cry.
What?
And his son's like, why are you crying, Daddy? He's like, honey.
Honey.
He's like, I'll tell you why. And then told his like 9-year-old son the story of
Just
like
repeated that story on a loop.
I was like, this is like way too fucking much. I can't handle
my
this.
God. No way it was the same exact house.
That's what I'm saying. I
Oh
don't
my
believe it
God.
either.
You know, the only time I've ever heard someone talk about The Secret is that they were like, you know, it actually works. Like, I live on this street where there's no permit parking, so it's a free for all. And now, this past week, every time I've gotten home, like as I'm making the turn onto my street, I think I'm gonna have a parking spot. I'm gonna have a parking spot. I'm gonna have a parking spot, and then there is one.
Yeah.
That's not the same.
See, I think that's just like, I think that's like lower level manifestation. You know what I mean? And I think that there's like a very few moving parts when it comes to that. And like, that's the kind of stuff that I really like. And that's the stuff that I really believe in, is like putting at least like the energy out there for like the world to accept that, you know, if that makes sense. Like letting it be known to something out there that like, that's like what you need right now.
Yes.
And I feel like you're more likely to like get that. Or the other thing is, I think that you're more likely to recognize when it does happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is like also a good thing. So if it's not the manifestation that is actively putting that, like making that happen, when it does happen, I feel like I get a greater sense of like being an active participant in my own life.
Yes.
In the lens of like the universe that is ginormous.
Yes, I totally feel that.
So do you have any questions about like
about
The Secret or vision boards before we
So you said your beef with Oprah started when we talked about
yeah.
I also heard that other people saying that they, and like, you know, there's been other people put on Oprah and Ellen that are like truly bad people and are like just stealing money from people essentially, but they get like all this fame from talk show hosts. Is that like part of your beef?
That's part of my beef, because sometimes I think that like sometimes I think that people like Oprah and Ellen, and I kind of talked about this when we were talking about like furries and Tyra Banks. I think that a lot of the time that like these talk show hosts, or at least the producers of these shows, try to get like these fantastical people to come on and like exploit them.
Yes.
And then what happens is that like Oprah and Ellen and Tyra make money from it. And then what happens is that these like people who aren't like scientifically like qualified to like do positive things for people are like ruining people's lives.
Right. Well, plus with The Secret, I feel like it's right up Oprah's alley of like manifestation, like go get what you deserve, which is great.
Yeah.
Which is like Oprah's been preaching for years, but now she also is promoting people like buy into this dude and his book that's like notorious for taking people's money and not helping them.
Right, exactly. And it's a lot of this like what are those books that are like how to become, or my dad used to read this book like How to Gain Friends or something, or How to Influence People, like
how to win
book.
friends and influence people, something like that.
Yeah. And like if you ever opened up one of those books before, half of it is blank pages for you to like write like stuff in.
Yeah.
So like these people aren't trying to help you, because if they were trying to help you, and if like manifesting like all this money was like a real deal thing, they wouldn't need to sell these books, because they can just manifest the money and it'll come to them. You know what I mean? So it's all just about like money making and like exploiting people like my dad, who probably bought a $30 book in 1997 and like, I don't know, thought he had some kind of control, and then like read it a little bit and then left it. You know what I mean?
This is like the exact same conversation we had about personality tests, where like the base level impulse and like inciting incident for them was very honest and like really trying to teach people about something. And then capitalism takes over, and now it's like a multi-million-dollar industry that isn't like really giving you helpful product.
Yeah. And I
And
think
really,
that's
you
kind
should
of
just
where
go to
like
therapy.
just go to therapy. I think that's like where my beef with Oprah is like you commodified self-help and you made like I feel like she was a powerhouse in like normalizing this idea that
Yes.
you can buy self-help rather
Yes.
than looking intrinsically on like
Yes.
your faults and being self-aware. It's now
Yes.
looking outward at other things, like the things
Yes.
that could be stopping you.
Yes. And I have like one other question about vision boarding and the secret,
Yeah.
which is, do they give you a budget for magazines for your vision board? Because I don't think people have magazines anymore.
Yeah, you can actually apply for a grant and they give you $16 to go to your local grocery store and pick up the latest copies of In Vogue or Vogue, National Enquirer, Boats.com, lawyers, and Moneybags International.
Wow, that's really good. If I had to do it
Mhm.
with just what I had at home, it would be a bunch of like coupons for 10% off an oil change.
I want an oil change.
I want an oil change. I want new window dressing, and I want 10% off a pizza from my local pizza place.
At this point in my life, if I'm going to get an oil change, someone else is going to have to manifest that into their life that I get an oil change because I'm so behind.
Jiffy Lube's gonna manifest that for you.
Honestly, it would work.
Okay, that's all my
Uh,
questions.
okay, well, that's good because that's what I have on like the history or like background of vision boards, and I want you to now see what I made for
I'm
my
so
vision boards.
excited.
So I couldn't. So I don't have like a lot of materials and things like that to make a vision board, and I didn't want to go out and get them, especially because I'm moving. I didn't want to
And you're a
like go
minimalist.
get like, and I'm a minimalist. I didn't want to have all that paper. It just
Yeah.
seems very bad for the environment. So I made 4 digital vision boards,
4?
and I put a little twist on it because one of my favorite things to do right now is to make color boards. So like,
Ooh.
you know how when we were making the podcast, I made like a color board for like our branding.
Yes.
So that's one of my favorite things to do. So I decided I was going to make 4 vision boards that each have one theme, which are my visions.
Oh my god.
And I made a color board surrounding those themes. So I'm
Oh
texting
my
them to
god.
you right now. So let's look at the one with the 2 beds.
Okay. Ooh. I love this.
Thank you so much.
Oh my
So,
god.
if you guys want to see my vision boards, they're obviously probably like they're definitely going to be on Instagram, so check them out. But the first one is I want to become a person who feels comfortable just taking their bed and like taking their mattress and putting it on the floor. I
I
used
love
to
that.
live like that, and it is so much more organized to me and like cleaner it looks because you can't like get dust and stuff under your bed, and I'm
Yes.
okay with like cleaning the dust around my bed. My problem right now is like the storage that I get from like putting stuff underneath my bed.
Yeah.
So, and to preface all of this is that right now is the perfect time for me to have vision boards because I am moving, and
Oh
moving is like the
yeah.
perfect time to try to like implement new things into your life and like try
Yes.
something new in your routine. So
Transitions.
exactly. So right now I'm manifesting. One of them is being a person who puts my mattress on the floor and like living that way and being okay with that. And the pictures are like nice beds with like a full comforter and like duvet, like, you know, like pillows and all that kind of stuff. And it looks nice.
Yes.
So it's not like, I'm not like trying to be like a 20-year-old skateboarder. But
Right.
as I told my therapist today, I do have like fake nostalgia for like, you know, being like a dirty kid who like
Yeah.
listens to the front bottoms.
Oh, I mean, I still do that.
Yeah, same.
But I also, what I really like about this is that, like you said, like it's a full made up bed and the room around it isn't cluttered as well. So it's not like I put this mattress on the floor because I couldn't be bothered to buy a bed frame. It's like, this is a aesthetic choice and the rest of my room matches that.
Yes, exactly. It'll be very intentional when I do it. I'll feel comfortable to do this when I have so little things I don't need space under my bed to put them.
Yes. And then you can't cram shit underneath like I always do.
Well, that's the other thing is like it's messy, and I
Yeah.
know if even if I can't see the mess, I can feel it. Like
Yeah.
I know that it's there, and that
Like
bothers
it's
me
the
a lot.
monster under your bed.
And like all my camping stuff is like dusty, and I hate knowing that.
Yeah. I also love the color palette.
Thank you.
Lots of like, okay,
Um,
we got 3 shades of brown and a yellow. Love.
yeah. So the browns are all found in like the pictures, but then
Yeah.
I brought that like green adjacent yellow color
Yeah.
in as like a pop of like color.
Love it. So this is like a bed mood board, like a bed vision board and a bedroom vision board.
Exactly.
Cool.
So if we want to swipe to the next one, let me know which one you have.
I
Is it
have
the
Johnny Depp.
Okay, yeah. So this one is I want to start wearing more crop tops.
Yes. I love
So
a male crop top.
on this one, we've got Johnny Depp, Kid Cudi, and Will Smith all in very stylish crop tops. Now, I've actually already started this one. I have 2 crop tops. I have a green one and a red one, as
Yeah.
you see here on my vision board.
Yes.
So the colors that I chose for this one are all colors that I found in those 3 pictures. But specifically, that
Great.
blue color, the green color, and the red color are all colors that like I particularly really like in clothes,
Yes.
and I have clothes all of the in these like off like faded kind of ish
Yes.
jewel tones, if that makes sense.
Yes. Also, it's like, I mean, I know 2 of these pictures are from like the 80s and 90s, but even that color palette is very much like nostalgia esque because it's not bright colors, it's like a little subdued, which I love.
Yeah,
And they all look amazing in their crop tops. And the crop tops aren't just for girls with big boobs.
exactly. My whole thing now is like I bought a couple pairs of like bicycle shorts. I've been wearing crop tops with those, like the high rise
That's
like
so hot.
bicycle shorts. It's the look. It's really the look.
It's the look. What shoes do you wear?
I have high top white Converse
I
and
was
I wear my
gonna
Tevas.
say that. Wow. This is a really sexy picture of Johnny Depp.
Right? That's from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow. I
Yeah.
forgot he was in that.
Okay, so if we want to swipe to the next one,
Swiping. Ooh.
are you on the camping
Oh
one?
my God. Yeah. I love how you did the colors as a fire.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, so I plan on doing a lot more camping coming up this year, especially in the fall, especially with
Yes.
like COVID and stuff when you can't really go anywhere. Nathan and I plan on doing a ton of camping.
Oh my God,
I have
yeah.
a couple of camping trips planned in the summer too. But there's no reason not to go camping right now, especially because like I can't go to the bar and like
Right.
what am I gonna have FOMO of like being at my house watching Blade again? Like
People are gonna have FOMO for you because you're drinking beer outside and they're at home by themselves.
exactly.
You know how to
It's
make
really
a
funny.
fire?
I do know how to make a fire.
Okay, good.
My little brother was an Eagle Scout.
Oh, I actually knew that, weirdly.
I probably told you at the like drunk at the
I think
bar.
I've seen a picture of him in his uniform.
That makes sense. That adds up. Fun fact about camping is whenever you Google camping, like every picture, the tent is yellow.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wait, my tent's yellow.
Mine's red.
Oh, maybe you
But
should.
I want a yellow tent. I think I'm gonna have to get a yellow tent if like this is gonna come
You
true.
can just get a new rainfly, probably.
That's true. But every color on here comes from the pictures.
This one is so soothing.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. And then the last one.
Ooh.
This is my sustainability mood board or color mood vision board.
Love it.
So the linen represents I want to make more sustainably conscious clothing choices.
Yeah.
So whether that's thrifting, so I won on eBay a Danica Patrick NASCAR shirt.
Wow.
Is waiting for me when I move into my new place that I'm really excited about.
Oh my God. I love that.
I'm pretty jazzed about it. And I really want to buy like a linen. So they have like these on Etsy. They have these like linen like crop top high waist shorts. So
Ooh.
adding 2 of them up, and I know that linen like it'd be better if I even found like thrifted linen, but
Yeah.
linen is more just like a more like sustainably conscious,
Yes.
you know, choice. Yeah. The bicycle. I want a new bike. I specifically want one. This one's green, but I specifically want a new bike that's black with brown handlebars and seat,
Ooh,
which is
nice.
where I got that brown color. The bamboo is making more other sustainable like choices, such like bamboo paper like paper towels and toilet paper, and things such as that. And then the lavender represents making more sustainable choices in like my food products and also
Yeah.
like making my own food products. And this is like the reason I picked lavender is because I made that lavender simple syrup and I felt like really good about it.
Yeah.
So like even not even just being sustainable, but like actually participating what goes in my body rather than just like
Right.
eating the stuff that's offered to me or like around me.
Right. Wow. I love these. And all of them together like are so visually pleasing. And it is stuff you've talked to me about before, but I do feel like now that it's like on paper, well, digital paper, that you feel more intention towards these things.
I think so because I definitely sat with it in a lens that like I really like, which is, you know, making these like color boards. And I also like sat there and thought about it, you know what I mean? So it's more in
Yeah.
my head now.
Yeah.
Uh and active, and I feel like I can manifest these things. And these are all
Yeah,
very realistic things that I can like manifest for myself.
totally. I mean, you can definitely do all these things. I see that for you. Plus, I like that these, like, two of them are very concrete, which this is like the best part about vision boards, in my opinion, is that it's like a whole mix of everything.
Yeah,
So, two of them are very concrete, like the crop tops and the bed. But then the camping and the sustainability are like, there's so many different levels of those that like you could achieve one aspect. Like maybe you just want to go camping one more time, but really like you could go car camping 4 times and then like backpacking and then buy all like get all the gear and whatever. And like
exactly.
the sustainability never ends. Like every choice you make can be more sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah,
You
so
should print it out when you get your new place and put each one up on the
I
wall.
honestly should. I really want to. I kind of want to make some. I want to make some of them like phone wallpapers or computer wallpapers.
Yes. Oh, especially
Which
the one of the guys in the crop tops.
I know, right?
Wow.
Um, but yeah, that was vision boards.
Um, was it difficult?
No, because this is something that I enjoy
Yeah.
already, and I love thinking about star energy in a way where like the things I want will happen to me. You know.
Yes.
So and watching the documentary was like enthralling and entertaining. I definitely did get sucked in sometimes, but then like my critical thinking brain definitely got in the way at times where I was like, where it was appropriate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so like the medical thing, like I knew what my boundaries were. And I think
Right.
that's sometimes where people maybe lack is like knowing where manifestation should stop
Right.
or like
Um,
having an expectation, like
right.
realistic expectations.
Yeah. Is there anything that you didn't add to your vision board that you like regret not doing it or like you really thought about it and then decided to take it off?
Um, well, I tried to really put the black bike with the brown handlebars and seat, but none of the pictures were good, and they were all like Craigslist pictures.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And then I think that I think I wanted at first I was gonna do like a more general one, but I also tried not to make it like things like
Yeah.
I tried not to make it one big thing that like if I didn't meet it or I didn't get the exact thing, I wouldn't feel like I had failed.
Right.
You know?
Right. It's not
So
like you're going to get that exact house and your kid's going to sit on top of it and then you're going to cry because you got that exact house.
right, exactly. So like when I was like doing crop tops, I was like, oh, I should go on Uniqlo and like look at crop tops I want and put them on this board. And I'm like, no, I'm just shopping now. Like that's not
Yeah.
manifesting anything. And especially with the bike, I was like, I should go find the bike that I want. It's like, no, that's still just shopping. And I didn't want to
Right.
shop.
Right. Also, like you can make your own crop top or like maybe you're going to come across a bike you like even more. Like it's just visioning.
Well, the two crop tops I have, I just cut two t-shirts that I don't wear anymore because I don't like the way they
Mhm.
fit. And now I wear them.
That's
So
awesome.
and actually the fun thing is the one crop top I found out that the fabric I had left over I could use as a mask. It's like a
Oh,
mask and you
that's
can tighten it in
awesome.
the back. Yeah,
Wow.
so double whammy.
Double whammy. One last thing. This is like just something that I learned from Ron Funches, the comedian.
Uh-huh.
And apparently he and like he gets a bunch of his guy friends together every year, like around New Year's, and they vision board. And his whole a lot of what he talks about around it is like vision boarding's for everyone. It's not just for like middle-aged white ladies. And like if you're a man or like very masculine person and you think it's not for you, that's wrong. And he's like, I do it every single year. We make posters together, this big group of dudes, and I put it up prominently. It was like on my mantle all year round. And I got like 5 of the things that I had manifested because at the beginning of the year, I was like, this is what I'm working towards. So
Yeah.
I just want to say that like from what I've learned from you and from Ron Funches is that anyone can do it. And it's not just for middle-aged white ladies. And in fact, like the wealthy, like privileged people that are doing it aren't the ones that like need it as much as you were saying, like, because you're already privileged, obviously you're going to be able to attain certain things.
Yeah, exactly. And if you watch the Secret, it's a bunch of like mask facing men, you know? And
Yeah.
like think about one of the biggest one of the biggest baddies in this whole thing is Tony Robbins, who's like
Right.
a big, you know, gruff kind of dude
Right.
who's like yelling to people about like dream it, do it, you know?
Yeah. So what do you rate, or like how do you feel about do you want to do an actual rating or
Yeah, so
okay.
my rating is 9 copies of The Secret. I think that I would give myself 10 copies of The Secret if I had made an actual physical one. Because
Yeah.
I think that like being like tactile about it, you can be more purposeful about putting your intentions on it. Whereas on my
Right.
computer, I'm just like staring at a screen, which I'm doing all the time.
Right.
But limited by my current, you know, the stuff.
And your limited collection of magazines.
Yeah, exactly. Which is none.
Well, I think you did a great job. I love the vision boards.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see your visions become reality.
You're gonna see me in a crop top, baby.
And I'm going to see that bed on the floor.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, you want to take a break?
Yeah, it's break. Welcome back, everybody. How was your break?
I don't know about you, but mine was fantastic.
I had a great time. I read a whole book.
Oh my God, which one?
The Secret Life of Pillow Monsters. It's a real book.
Sounds like you definitely remember all of the details of it.
Yep. Julia, should we get into your Make Me?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay. Remind the listeners what it is.
Okay, you made me make you a playlist. Not just any playlist, a themed playlist.
Yes, I wanted there to be intention.
Yes, because we're all about intentions this week. So before I get into it, what do you know about playlists, like about playlists? Do you make playlists? Tell me all about it.
Well, back in my younger days, when I was a young lad, I was like obsessed with making playlists, where I would make playlists for everything. And I was always making like mix CDs and like for no reason. Yeah. And I had this goal in life to have a CD for every occasion. Yeah. And I wanted there to be like whatever mood it was, whatever was going on, I wanted to be able to pull out a CD and put it in my car CD player and like live in the moment.
Yeah.
But then what happened was CDs became useless and no one cares about CDs anymore. And my music my music taste is too like ever changing now to like even listen to a CD. And then playlists, one time I did this thing where I was dating this girl in high school and every day I gave her a song that reminded me of her. Wow, so it was like a long form playlist.
That's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, it was.
I would have died to have a boyfriend like you.
Thank you.
I was in the same boat. I didn't quite want to live in a movie like you did, where like every mood, every
Is that
song
a read?
fit your mood completely. But I did, like, I was always making mixtape, like mix CDs. I never made a mixtape. But always making CDs and like trying to make them fit certain themes, but I always found, I don't know about you, I always found that like the same 10 songs have been on like every mix CD I've ever made and every playlist I've ever made.
Yeah, there's like 3 of the same Green Day songs that
Yeah.
decided to fit every mood that I've ever felt.
Yeah.
And also like Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry was
Oh
on
my
every
God.
playlist somehow. It was like either like the lull like of like the playlist because you have to go from like exciting to like slow back to exciting and finish
Yeah.
strong, or it was like the mood setter.
Yeah. I forgot about that song.
I to this day still love that song.
I remember that. I feel like it always comes on when I'm like at the grocery store,
That's a good place for it.
like at
You be
Tops and
punched in the gut. If you want to be punched in the gut with your feelings, listen to that song
at the grocery store.
at the grocery store. Where did you get your music?
That's a great question. When I was a kid, we had LimeWire, which
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you about because I remember having a bunch of mixed CDs and just my LimeWire, like, okay, LimeWire had like no rhyme or reason to it. It was just like everything you've ever downloaded, barely alphabetized. Probably, I don't even remember it being alphabetized.
Yeah.
And depending on who like made the download, like all of the text could be in the in the song title. So it would be like, I don't know, like Hotel California Eagles MP3, like made by DJ blah blah blah, and then there'd be no artist.
Yeah. So I specifically remember when I got an iPod and I wanted to port over like my illegally downloaded LimeWire music
Yes.
into iTunes, I would spend hours upon hours at a time, like reformatting all
Yeah.
of the information on iTunes and even like going as far as to download a picture of the album cover so
Yes.
that when it came up on my iPod, it looked like I bought it.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
dedication. I definitely did the thing where like I went through and made it so every song had like a name and an artist.
Yeah.
I was so uninformed that, well, also I got lazy. So I would have songs that were just called like Untitled One,
Yeah.
sure. And like I would know that it was Yeah. Or like I
Yes.
know the name of it. And I
I
still don't.
My first iPod was an iPod Shuffle, and that's like the real test of like knowing an order of songs because and
Yes.
if talk about no rhyme or reason, you just upload like music onto an iPod Shuffle in the order that is just like listed on your
Yeah.
iTunes. So you have to know what's coming up next. And
Right.
I remember I could like skip like 10 and get to the exact song that I wanted
Oh
because I
my
knew
God.
the exact order.
You were like a little tiny guru.
Yeah.
But have you heard songs now that you had downloaded on LimeWire and it was like some weird radio edit or like in the background was some like radio host being like "Bow, bow, bow, DJ do it," and you like thought that was
Yes.
part of the song?
So I didn't ever think that it was part of the song because I was limited to the like I only ever listened to music that I had found on the radio, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um but I had versions of that and it was like the best version I could find. So I was like, this is just my life. Like I just have to listen to it like that.
Yeah, like has the like stupid overlay of the DJ host, whatever they're called. I can't remember. Anyway, so we did LimeWire for a long time, and I have all these CDs that I have from LimeWire. So when you like upload them into iTunes, it's like total nonsense.
Yeah.
And then we did YouTube to MP3,
Oh yeah.
which was even worse.
It's worse and it's more work and it's even
Yes.
sketchier because like even though like YouTube to MP3 is like really sketchy looking anyway, it's always trying to get you to download some like malware. And
Right.
you have to know the exact right download button to press because like there's actually like 4 different download buttons.
Yes. But like I feel like we all in like ninth grade like knew all the secrets and we thought we were like hacking into the mainframe and getting all this free music.
Do you remember when you could just put a CD into a computer and rip the music off of the CD and put it onto your iPod? I miss
Yeah, that
those
was the
days.
best. And some of the CDs had the like text already built into it, so you didn't have to do any work.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was the best.
But then, so I was thinking about like the history of playlists. And playlists, I think the OG playlist is a mixtape, which I have like no idea how you would even do that because it sounds really impossible. Then we had LimeWire and like Napster, and you could make mixed CDs, which I think is making a playlist, but you're limited to like the download space on a CD, which is like 10 to 12 songs.
Yeah, I remembered how big the CD had to be if I wanted like 18 to 20. 18 to 20 was always my sweet spot.
Yes. But then you would like have to finesse, like you would get to 17 when you wanted that 18th one on, so you'd like figure out which song to take off.
Oh my God, that was the worst. And for some reason, all 3 Green Day songs and Big Girls Don't Cry stayed on.
Honestly, you should have just had those 4 songs on a CD.
That's it. That's really all it should have been.
And do you have any mix CDs that you like have left over from high school that you listen to regular or like at all?
They're in my car and they're so scratched that you can barely listen to them.
Yeah.
So like I only really try to listen to them like sometimes. And do you remember what like the art that you would decorate yours with? Like what would you do with it?
I would always try to do some like graffiti bubble letters, but I was terrible at it, so it just looked like a 3-year-old did it. And I would try to make an interesting name, but it was always like Cool Tunes with a Z.
Yeah. All of my mix CDs were called Mixy Mix. So I had Mixy Mix 1, Mixy Mix 2, Mixy Mix 3, so on. I think I only got up 3 or 4. But at the time I had a CD, like a portable CD player.
Yeah.
And I found a way that you could get the CD to keep playing with it when it was open. So that you had to stick like a pen or something into the certain button that recognized it as being closed.
Wow.
And I would play it, and I took a Sharpie and I made like spirals with the Sharpie. Like I made like stripes on the CD.
Wow, it's like spin art.
Yeah, it was exactly like spin
you were
art.
so cool in high school.
Thank you.
And now.
Not now.
I have mixtapes in my car, like mix CDs from my friends. And it's so embarrassing. They like clearly delineate when I was like trying new things out. So I have like 2 like pop country ones and like some weird dubstep ones. And then one that's like all like Kesha and Taylor Swift remixed by EDM people.
Oh.
And they're all very embarrassing.
I have one CD that's like all dubstep because I went through a dubstep phase. But like all my friends, like I remember going to prom bumping that CD.
Yes.
And I remember being like the CD guy.
I'm the CD guy.
And I'm the DVD
Not the
guy.
CD guy, the CD guy.
I'm the CD guy, and here's my friend Trader Joe. And then I lost my train of thought.
That's fine.
Oh, I remember. I also have 2 mix CDs in my car still that like an ex-boyfriend gave me. Ooh. And one is like a bunch of like Hosier, and then the other one's like a bunch of LaRue.
Oh my God.
And I remember like not appreciating them at the time, but sometimes I want to text them and be like, hey, thanks for those CDs you gave me.
They really helped shape who I am today.
They honestly, sometimes I like listen to them in the car. I'm like, okay, these are bops. These fuck.
Wow. I'm so glad you brought up like someone making them for you. I feel like that was such an intimate thing. Like someone giving you a CD. And I only ever experienced it. I was always like the person making them, and then I would get embarrassed about what I put on the CD like the minute I handed it off. Yes,
agreed.
But because it's the same 4 Green Day songs and goddamn Big Girls Don't Cry.
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but I also used to make like Spotify playlists for people like into college. Here's a really embarrassing story about me. Is I one time made like a sex playlist that I wanted to play if I ever had sex with somebody. Everyone's done that. And I one time put it on and the person was like, we're not listening to that.
That's my worst nightmare. I think I definitely made one of those, but you always like label it something. So like if someone goes on your Spotify playlist, it's not labeled like for sex.
Yeah. Boner Jams
Boner
13.
jams. Okay, so yes, the natural progression is mixtape, CD, playlist, and you can like share playlists on Spotify, which I think is awesome. And then I would guess like in the last 5 years, Spotify started making playlists that you could like tap into.
Yeah, like the art, not like the creator
Right.
made ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do like your Discover Weekly where they give you like based on what you listened to the past week, they give you a playlist of things they think you might like. And
Yeah.
or you can
Like
be
the
like,
For You.
yeah, or you can be like, I'm running and I want to listen to workout twerk out. And there's
Yeah.
like all these pre-made ones.
Or like Sunshine on a Sunday. Or
Yeah.
like they're always like some like weird names. You're like, I really understand what this means.
I know what you mean, but I don't like that you pointed it
Yeah.
out. And so when I was thinking about playlists, I was like, I like the hyper themed playlists.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like when I'm looking for a playlist on Spotify, I'll be like, I guess it was more so when I was like at the gym all the time or like playing volleyball, and I would look for like hype up ones, and they were never what I was looking for. It was always like way too hardcore or like pop radio, and I could
Yeah.
never find like the middle ground, and I never had the patience to make my own. So I just like put up with whatever they had made for me, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. I sometimes fall in the realm of like looking for like just cheerful playlists,
Yeah.
and it always somehow turns into like Christian pop music, and I'm like, it's not what I signed up for.
I said cheerful, not Christful.
Yeah, exactly.
And also my like progression of making playlists, like I never like, okay, this is for when you're extremely happy, this is for graduation, this is for whatever. It's just like I make like a whatever season it is, and all the songs that I like at that time I'll like dump into there so I can
Yeah.
listen to it. And then if I'm like, now I can look back at like fall 2017 and like I can tune into how I was feeling at that time, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I like to make them for like car ride to Columbus. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like things that are like shorter trips, or like my little brother and I usually like go on a yearly like long biking trip, and like we'll make a specific playlist like just for that.
Yeah. But that's not like only happy songs, only sad songs, only angry songs. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What, if you have an answer, because I have an answer, what's the best playlist you have on your like Spotify or Apple Music?
Oh, you tell me your answer.
Okay, my answer is really good, so I don't know if you're going to be able to top it.
Okay, I'll go first. So my favorite playlist is, oh, I hope that's still here. I have a playlist called Heart Eyes Emoji,
Oh, love it.
and it's a bunch of it's a Valentine's Day playlist I made for my boyfriend and I for our first
Aww,
Valentine's Day,
that's
and we
so
took a
nice.
bath in like a rose petal bath bomb and like listened to it.
Oh my
It like was the
God.
most successful like playlist I've ever made, but it
That's
has
so
Dua Lipa, the Jones Girls,
cute.
Sufjan,
Oh my God.
the Bleachers, Palehound, TLC,
Oh my
Stars, and a couple
God.
others. Elvis
Wow.
Costello.
Okay, well, actually, your answer is way better than mine.
I'm so sorry.
The best playlist anyone ever gave me is called Pitbull Happy Hour, PHH. And it's all Pitbull songs.
That's my biggest nightmare.
I just think it's so funny because, okay, everyone thinks they hate Pitbull, but then if you're drinking and a all Pitbull playlist comes on, you love it. You're gonna love it. So, when I was thinking about playlists, the thing that comes to my mind most is like when you go through a breakup and you want to like wallow in your sadness.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking that all of the breakup playlists are like so hyper specific. It's either like, this is the music that you sit to in the pouring rain and cry, or
Yeah.
it's like, you're a bad bitch, you don't need no man, like you're back at it.
Yes, exactly.
And I've never experienced either of those fully. like during a breakup. I've never been
Yeah.
in like the I'm so sad I'm crying my eyes out for hours at a time, and I've also never been like I deserve better than this. Like I'm gonna go out and find me a man. I'm gonna go out to the club, whatever.
Yeah.
So I made a playlist for you. I'm gonna just share my screen because I feel like that's the easiest way to do this.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I made you a playlist, and it's Sorry, 1 second. Now I'm like all fucked up in the head. All right. My playlist is called the I Wish You Were Dead, but I also wish you would take me back and we could forget this ever happened, even though we both know you'll never love me like I need you to stage of a breakup.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
So I think it's a mix of like songs that you're gonna like want to cry to, songs that are like fuck you, I hate my ex, and like it's some like if you put it on shuffle, every other song is like a really sad country song, and then it's like the Front Bottoms, and then it's like Whitney Houston, and it's like such a crazy mix.
It's
But
such a
this
good mix.
is
I'm so happy with the Front Bottoms, and I see Robin. I see the Chicks on there, newly the
yes, of
Chicks.
course, the Chicks. Oh, this is on here twice. I feel like this is the playlist I needed like after all my previous breakups.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, you got Haim.
I never felt like I just wanted to be sad or I just wanted to be angry. Like it is like this there is like a very long period of time where you're like, I hate you. I want you back. I hate you. Actually, that's never going to work. I remember all this bad stuff you did to me, but also I love you. Please come over.
Right. And like I also feel very empowered about like my singleness, and I also hate you for damning me to like feeling bad about myself for any period of time, but I
Yeah.
also forgive you already, and you haven't even apologized, and you
Yeah.
don't plan on apologizing.
Exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Wow, you have modern baseball on here,
Yeah,
and you have the Front Bottoms.
of course. Well, the thing is, this was a real task for me because I have a similar playlist from when I just was sad after a breakup, but it is like only modern baseball in the Front Bottoms. I had to put in
Honestly,
more.
can you give me that one as well?
But so I have like She's Gone by Hall & Oates, and then like tie that with It's the Beaches by the Avett Brothers, which like that song kills me. If every time I listen to it, I'll cry. But She's Gone is like a fun upbeat song. And then I
Yeah.
also have like Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. I have Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Um
You really hit it all. Zach Brown Band.
I figured
Jason Aldean.
I was thinking about it like what's sadder than a sad country song? I feel like
That's true.
they'll pull at your heartstrings. So I didn't know how to give this to you the best way ever, but
No, this is perfect.
I can share it with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. I have questions about like your process, unless you wanted to
Sure.
speak on your process.
Okay, my process was at first I wanted to I knew I wanted to make a breakup playlist that was like very like in the middle ground. But so like I started looking at other people's playlists and it was all like I said, it was all very polarized of like this is me crying to Patsy Cline or this is me like listening to Nicki Minaj and thinking I'm a bad bitch. But
Yeah.
so then I like just picked and chose from other people's playlists. And then once I had like a few songs, then my brain started rolling into like other like sad songs I know, like songs that are fuck you that I already have and listen to all the time. But I needed something to like ground me. And the first song I put in was Twin Size Mattress by the Front Bottoms because it's just like the song I wore out during my college breakup. So I was like, I gotta play this song.
Oh, for sure. I really like the subject matter because I'm like very horny for like teen angst.
Yeah.
And I think that like there's nothing more teen angsty than like pining after like the 3 days after a breakup. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
And like having that like catharsis, and hopefully it was a Friday because then you
Yeah.
had the whole weekend to do nothing, because
Like when you
nothing
get
worse
fired
than
from a
like,
job.
yeah, exactly. I one time got broken up with, and then like within 10 minutes I had to go to class,
Oh my
and it was like the
God.
hardest class to ever. I remember it being like feeling so long,
Yeah, and you
and
probably
like,
didn't learn anything. They stole your education from you.
yeah, it was awful. They owe me that. It was college, so they owe me that money. And I think that this is the type of playlist that like transports me back to like the romanticized version of that I have in my head.
Yeah. I was, but then like, I appreciate your review because that's what I was going for. Because I feel like when we think about teen angst, you're just thinking about like screamo music or like Fall Out Boy on blast. But that's not. It's never just that all at once. It's
No,
everything
it's
all at once.
yes, exactly. And a lot of it is like, outwardly like, dancing and screaming to Outcast, and
Right.
then like secretly listening to really sad music like the Postal Service, like at home on your own,
Yes.
you know?
Right. Yeah. 100%. And that's how I experienced it. And also, I listened back to this playlist today just to make sure it made sense and I was taking things off. And it's I feel like these songs like let you get back into that headspace, which is kind of fun to do. Like to think about this is how I used to feel, and it's like so great I don't feel this way anymore. Like when you listen to sad music just to feel sad because you need like an emotion.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you say that, because I one time said that to somebody and they're like, no, I don't know what that means. Like,
What?
why would I ever want to be sad? I'd rather just like be happy. Like listen to
What?
like, or like, oh, I'm sad, so I'll listen to happy music to make me happier. I was like, no, sometimes like you gotta put on
Yeah.
like sad movies and music to like lean into it and like, oops, like lean into it and fully experience it on like the
Yes.
entire, like in the entire spectrum of sadness, to even like come out the other end to feel
Yes.
better.
But also, I think like, okay, you and I are very happily in relationships, and it's still fun to think about and like really embody like the chicks singing about killing their abusive ex-husband.
100%. Or like, have you heard the new song
It's
Gaslighter?
so good.
It's so good. And like, I'm like listening to that song, like screaming at Nathan and like
Yeah.
mad at him, even though he's like great and like a really
Yeah.
good partner. But I'm like, yeah, fuck, man. Like, fuck you, you
Right.
gaslighter. Like, you're a terrible person. You're leading me around and doing all those things. And there's something like empowering about being like, you didn't do that, but if you did do
Yeah.
that, this is me saying these things to you.
Yes. Also, I originally almost titled the playlist like when you're thinking when you remember the grudge you have against your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then like because like I'm no longer dwelling over my ex-boyfriends or like I'm not like not even thinking about how they wronged me. You know, you can like get to that point where you just have like happy thoughts about the relationship.
Yeah.
I like don't think about them that often, but sometimes it's fun to be like, "Oh yeah, and you did this thing and fuck you again."
Yeah,
Or like yeah.
similar to Twin Mattress by Front Bottoms, how like that was like your breakup song in a college
Yeah.
relationship. I had a college relationship where my song was what's the song that goes, cut my life into pieces.
Papa
Is that
Roach.
Last Resort by
Yeah.
Papa Roach. That was like a breakup song for one of my more significant breakups, and like
Wow.
I still listen to that song and feel the
Yeah.
anger that I was like letting myself feel during that
Yes.
breakup, and it's empowering.
Who doesn't? It makes you feel good. And that's why I
And
love
I
about music is like you can go 1 second from like crying to screaming to being happy to like break dancing to whatever. Tell me if you relate to this. One time I was talking to my boss who has like my old boss has like a 2-year-old, and she was on a hike with her and she had her 2-year-old on her shoulders. She was telling me this story at work. And her daughter was screaming. Old McDonald had a farm. Like they're on a hike, she's screaming like E-I-E-I-O. And my boss was like, I mean, I just let her do it. Like it was a little loud in my ear, but like when was the last time you screamed like with all your might? Like it must have felt so good. And then I
Yeah.
like was thinking to that morning driving to work with my music blasting, like literally screaming my lungs out.
Yeah.
All the time.
It feels really good. The best times is like when you are on the highway with your windows down and your music's
Yes.
really, really loud and you're just like
Yes.
screaming along with the music and
Yes.
you can't hear yourself. It's even better.
It's the best. My mom is known for showing up somewhere after a long road trip and not like, and her voice is sore, like she has a hoarse throat because she'd been scream singing the entire drive.
I love that. I respect that.
So that's my playlist.
I loved that. I'm so happy that that's what you went with. That exceeds my expectations.
Thank you. I can't wait for you to listen to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it because I'm packing all day tomorrow. So
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
And
do
plus
that.
I'm gonna ask the audience to send additions to the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can always be longer. Playlists that are really long are great because then you can listen to it many times over without getting bored.
Exactly. Also, send us your favorite playlist. We'd love to see them.
Yes, but send us your favorite playlist. We would love to see them, but also send us any song that fits under the playlist. The I wish you were dead, but I also wish you'd take me back, and we forget this ever happened, even though we both know you'll never love me like I need you to, stage of a breakup.
Oh man. How many copies of The Secret do you give this Make Me?
I give this Make Me I'm gonna say overall I'll give it like a 8.5 copies, split right
Okay.
down the middle of the spine of
Yeah.
a copy of the Secret. I think I could have had like a more wide range of music types. Like I said, I put the same like 5 songs in every playlist. That's why I'm interested in hearing from the listeners because they're gonna have a different taste than I am.
Yeah.
So, like to add to the playlist that way. But I also love making playlists. This was so fun for me. And like getting back into this headspace was really fun for a while. Like knowing that it's just temporary and I can like jump in and out of it rather than being actually mad and sad.
Yeah. Well, I think that you crushed it, and
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to listen.
I can't wait for you to listen.
All right, Julia, are you ready to exchange Make Me's for the week?
I'm so ready.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
So next week, I want you to watch any amount of Riverdale
Oh my God.
and tell me all about it. Tell me what you think.
Okay. Have you watched it?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm so
I just
excited.
want to know what you think.
I've never seen-
I want to chat with you about
Okay, I'm so excited. I've only ever seen the memes.
it. You've seen Riverdale then.
Okay, next week or for this week, I want you to do origami.
Oh, yes. Wait, that's going to be amazing.
You can make anything you want.
Do you have a Make Me for the listeners?
I do. I want you, for all the listeners out there who have roommates or live with their partner or someone else, I want you to, for the next week, put on your clothes backwards every day and see how long it takes for your roommates to notice. Or
I think I'm going
don't
to do that one.
ever give a shit.
They probably won't.
And for those of you that don't have a roommate but you're on Zoom calls every day, I want you to either try the backwards thing, but reads a little worse on Zoom. So I want you to wear the exact same shirt every day for a week during your Zoom calls and see if anyone notices or says anything about it. 'Cause I'm sure they'll
I love
notice.
that one. That's good. That's a great one.
And make it make it a Hawaiian shirt so that they know, like it's so obvious.
Yeah, it has to be like it can't just be like a gray shirt that could be passed off as like any gray shirt. It has to be like a statement
Yes.
piece.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Until next week, keep on keeping on.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, it's Jordan and Julia. Thanks for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
For content related to this episode, follow us at Make Me Pod on Instagram. And you can hear episodes each week on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you find us anywhere else, please let us know.
You can also send us your questions, comments, make me suggestions, pictures of your dog, or requests for unlicensed medical advice to makemepod@gmail.com.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, etc., etc. That's how we get discovered.
Please, we need to be clicked.
But for real, leave a comment so we know you love us.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
The worst is if they like compliment the shirt the first day. So if you wear it again, it's like awkward.
Oh, you complimented the first day, so I had to wear it again.
Right, exactly. All right, everybody. Until next week, enjoy. I'm going to do that again because I hated whatever just happened. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm going to do that again because I hated it.
Okay. Serious.